Gary, conscious of some predictions in the East Midlands. It was a terrific result at the weekend. How much is that going to give you a bit of confidence going forward into this busy week?
Yeah, I didn't hear about the bold predictions, but it's hopefully. Well, I'm glad that we turned that on its head. So, again, I think that it's such a tough division. I think that you have to approach every game in the same manner. You have to give respect to every opponent, regardless of their recent, form, games, where they are in the table, whatever that might look like. Just as we would hope that people would do that to us. So going into a tough game Wednesday. I don't expect, it's a club. It's a club that's obviously been on the up for a long period of time. And what you do then is you get used to winning. You get into good habits of winning. Of course, the Championship's a little bit more of a testing division, more so I think than any other. And sometimes no team can continue to just keep winning all the time. But Wrexham have made some good signings. I've managed against Phil on a number of occasions in the past, and they're always really, really tough games. It's an exciting opportunity again for us to go away from home and see if we can build on some encouraging away performances this season. But we also know, it'll be a really, really tough task. 3 straight promotions for Phil. How much of an achievement is it to do that? Very few people who kind of match that record. No, it's incredible. He's also had a lot of success before. I was on the end of, a playoff defeat to his Bradford team. I think they went on to win the playoffs that year. So he's vastly experienced manager, and along with his staff as well. So anybody can say, Wrexham has spent loads of money, done this, done that, but. Us managers that are in the game, that are on the sideline, know that means one thing, but to actually achieve something in terms of promotion is very, very difficult. So absolute kudos to them. But of course, they're in a different division, and I'm sure their challenges will be a little bit different this year as well. A lot of eyeballs on them. They've got kind of 2 different sides to them, kind of very sort of working class area and club, and then the kind of Hollywood element to it as well. The documentary, is that something you've watched? No. No, that's a busman's holiday, unfortunately for me. So no, I'd prefer to spend my time watching other things. But that's just any real sporting sort of documentary, I think. So, but look, it's always been a club that, certainly in terms of their fan base. I mean, I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it was purchased. But I played against them long time ago, and you turn up and be 8,000 or 9,000 home fans there in a really, really sort of low division. So, I think you can see a little bit of history there. You can see the size of the potential. But again, listen, that's with any club that we face. Spent £7.5 million on one player, so they have got some resources there. In terms of the strength of the squad they've got coming into this division, how do you assess how a challenge they are? Yeah, I think they've invested in the summer, like a lot of the teams in this division. Brought in some experienced players, different types of players. I think the one thing they have done is they've not been afraid to go and do what a lot of clubs won't do at the moment, which is buy a player over the age of 26 or whatever that is. Do you know what I mean? They'll try and bring that experience along with them. Like we said, they've got good players for this level, players that have done really well at this level. So. But look, again, the challenge is not for me to think too much about Wrexham. It's to try and have an eye on what we need to do in terms of building on our performances, and what the opposition do is something that, of course, you want to try and find different ways to cause them problems, but you also accept that they have players to do the same. So the focus really is on what we can do, and that's what we'll try and think about. You mentioned the performance. It wasn't just the win. You really deserved it as well. Will that give the players an extra boost as well, the fact that they played so well? I hope so. I think it's like anything. Whenever you pick up 3 points, I think it gives the whole place a boost. I think there's some really good performances in that. I actually think from the, if you think about the start of the season, the injuries we had, we spoke about us being behind. I think that's certainly played out pretty consistently in terms of what I said at the time, not after the events. And therefore, if you take probably the first 2 or 3 games out of it, we've actually been incredibly competitive. If we've lost games, we've lost them very narrowly. If we've won games, we've won them narrowly, although, of course, at the weekend, it probably should have been far more convincing in terms of the scoreline with the chances that we created. So yeah, I think there was a lot of good things at the weekend to build on, but there's been a lot of good things over a period of time now. What we need to do, of course, and Saturday was no different. Wednesday's going to be no different. We need to start putting points on the board when we play well. So yeah, Saturday was a good start, but it's just one game.
You ticked off an important milestone at the weekend with that first home win. Going back to back is something you've not done yet. Do you feel with the way that you're playing at the moment, you could string a few positive results together on the spin?
Yeah, why not? Look, I mean, when we first came in last year, we of course, put together, I think, a 9-game unbeaten spell at the start. I think 5 wins, 4 draws. So again, it's something that the players can do. Sometimes it's easier when you first come in to have that different type of impact. But I think we're capable of doing it. I don't think that's, I certainly wouldn't say this is a great opportunity to do it, because that would be disrespectful to any team that we face. I think, it's such a competitive division. You have to be at your very best every game. You can make sure you don't make mistakes. You give yourself a chance. So I liked the fact we limited Derby to very, very few chances at the weekend. We dealt with their physicality. Of course, we're going to have to do the same with Wrexham, and we'll see what happens.
Given the fact it's quite a busy week and you're playing Wednesday, Saturday, is squad rotation something that is in your mind? And obviously getting Kieran Brown back was a big boost. Yeah,
again, I think squad rotation is always something that you think about. You want to put your best team out whenever you can. You want to give players an opportunity to build performances. It's always difficult. Sometimes you look at which players can go Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, and again, sometimes there might be some players who might struggle to do that, but ultimately players want to play every game, right? Sometimes you can make changes. We made changes for Watford, thinking we were freshening the team up, and then we performed fairly poorly, certainly in periods of the game. So again, we'll have a little look at that. I mean, we've played one game after the international break, so for some of those players I hardly think the rest is required, but it's finding that balance of energy and those positions and the tactics for each game that might suit one or two players where you can change it and not lose too much.